This video training series is courtesy of the County of San Diego Office of Emergency Services.
Every emergency call, every emergency run, every life saved starts with you, the first responder.
But what do you do when confronted with evacuees with needs who may pose a challenge to your typical training methods?
The following video is one of a series of 8. It's designed to educate you on the various visual cues, do's and don'ts, proper behaviors, mannerisms, and sensitivities relating to those members of our San Diego community with autism.
Our hope is that you learn as much as you can so that when lives are depending on quick thinking and fast maneuvering, you have the knowledge and training to make the best decision possible.
Hi, so I'm Sergeant Jonathan Lowe with the San Diego Police Department. Thank you, Shirley, for joining me. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, thank you. So my name's Shirley Fett. I am currently an executive board member with the Autism Society San Diego. I also am the mother of 2 adult sons with autism. My sons are now 22 and 24 years old, so I have a lot of lifetime experience with autism.
Very good. So let's get a bit specific. What is autism actually?
First of all, it's not a mental illness. It's not a psychological disorder. It's a disorder that affects the brain. It's a developmental disability. Usually, individuals with autism are diagnosed within the first 3 years of their life. They have odd play behavior. 50% of all individuals with autism do not speak at all. They're considered nonverbal. Very, very commonly, individuals with autism will have fixations on things, Disney movies, Thomas the Tank. They want to talk about rocket ships all the time.
I've heard the term called stimming. Can you elaborate on what that is?
The types of things you might see in stimming is they may be rocking back and forth. They may have an object or a toy that they're constantly rubbing. So it's repetitive, not typical behavior that you would see in another individual, and it's thought to be a way for them to calm themselves down.
San Diego Police, we're doing evacuations. San Diego Police, we're doing evacuations.
Would you find that most people with autism recognize a first responder like a police officer or a fireman and be more willing to trust that they can come with me?
It's certainly something we all work on in school. We identify community helpers, of course, police, fire, and that sort of thing.
Hello, San Diego Police.
So yes, I think you can anticipate that a lot of the individuals with autism have had some teaching about who's a first responder, who's here to help you.
Hi there, I'm Officer Humes with San Diego Police. We're doing some evacuations right now. We have a gas leak in the area. Would you mind coming with us so we can...
How did you get in here?
Now that we understand autism a little better, how should a first responder approach a person with autism?
When you approach someone and you start to get the feeling or the idea that maybe this person has autism, it's very important to not have a whole lot of people approach them at once, because that's going to make them very anxious and very fearful.
Okay, so we're trying to do evacuations right now. We have a gas leak in the area. Would you mind coming with me?
People with autism have what we call a lot of sensory issues. They're going to get overwhelmed by the sounds, by the sight of that, and they may actually try to run away or, in fact, could become aggressive. So when a first responder approaches a person with autism, I think the least amount of people that you need to secure that person is first and foremost. I think look around the area and see, oh, do they have an iPad? Do they seem like they have things around them that might be the types of things a person with autism would have, which would be Disney movies, lots of electronics, things like that. If you're able, bring those with you, because those can serve as calming or comforting items to let the person look at or utilize while they're waiting.
Make sure you bring your iPad and...
You can take these.
Okay.
Where are we going?
About a quarter of a mile. Probably no more than that.
Are there any specific dangers a person with autism may pose to the individual or first responder in that situation?
Individuals with autism will fight you if you try and restrain them. If they're sensory overloaded, too much sound, too much talking. Individual with autism might hit you, they could bite you, they could try to scratch you, they could possibly grab at your badge, stethoscope, things like that. So usually you can tell when an individual with autism is what we call escalating. They start to make more sounds, they start to get more physically restless. It's not out of anger, it's more out of fear. So if you can minimize touching, holding them, being mindful of that, and hopefully intervening before it gets to the level where they feel they need to physically act out is a good idea.
What sort of specific communication issues does somebody with autism have?
When you're communicating with someone with autism, I think some of the key things that are important are to speak slow, speak in a calm fashion, and not use a lot of words. And you're going to notice that they might appear to act a little quirky, a little odd. About half of them are nonverbal, but that doesn't mean they don't understand the spoken language, particularly in a heightened situation when there's a lot of chaos and a lot of emergencies going on. We want to quickly get the information out to the people involved, and I think that's not going to do well with a person with autism.
Quarter mile north.
Quarter mile north. Just for a little bit until we can get it all cleared out for us.
Chelsea Humes, SDPD.
You want to bring your blanket? Anything else? Maybe you can show me your beans game? Perfect. And how about a few comic books for you? Keep you busy. Yeah?
So for example, if you're trying to get an individual with autism to follow you or to sit down, you would just say, sit here. Be very explicit, very clear. Stop. Don't go there. Not, don't go there because there's a fire and the firefighters haven't gone in there yet and the area's not cleared. All of that will get lost on a person with autism.
Look at me. I need you to walk forward. John, can you hear me? I need you to walk forward. Okay, can we walk forward?
Always let them know what's next. One of the things that individuals with autism are very anxious about is not knowing what's going to happen next. So I think that's important.
So in an emergency situation, if I have to evacuate a person with autism, asking them to come with me, but without the touching, without overstimulating them, as you said, would be the best way to go.
Right, exactly.
I won't touch you, just walk forward for me.
Are there any other needs or difficulties a person with autism may have?
Very, very often, a person with autism has no regard for safety. Individuals with autism many, many times do not have an awareness of what is or is not a dangerous situation. Let's say, for example, there's a fire and there's flames and there's smoke. You and I, in a typical situation, would say, oh, we need to get as far away from that as we possibly can. That's where the danger lies. Individuals with autism often have a fascination with water, with fire, and they might actually run towards that. And most people with autism don't have any physical impairments, so they're able to walk, they're able to run, so you usually are going to be able to get them to follow or walk with you. It's very unusual if a person with autism would also have some physical impairments.
How far?
About a quarter of a mile, probably no more than that.
The gas station?
No, it wouldn't be safe at the gas station.
Are there any other resources for first responders for the autistic population?
There is. The San Diego County Sheriff's Department has started a program that's called Take Me Home. Take Me Home is designed for the individuals who have autism, but also any other cognitive impairment. So for example, Alzheimer's, Down syndrome, intellectual disabilities, and we upload all of the information about our loved one, including a photograph. So if you are able to access the Take Me Home registry, you get a lot of information.
Thank you, Shirley, for all the information you shared with us today. It's really going to be useful for the first responders out there.
You're welcome. Thank you.
This concludes the People with Autism training video for first responders.
For more information, please contact the Autism Discovery Institute at Rady Children's Hospital. Their general information line is 858-966-1700.
I'm Tony Meacham, San Diego County Fire Chief.
I'm Shelley Zimmerman, Chief of Police of the San Diego Police Department. Thank you for watching.